Well, let me get it set up.
Is it first, second, third? Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So you have a no x to the third. So what do I have to put in?
A 0.
0 x to the third. And then I have minus 10x squared.
Oh, that's why I messed up.
Minus 2x plus 4. I even told you.
Oh.
Ugh. Okay, so we're going to take x to the fourth, and what are we going to divide by?
X.
This first term here. So x to the fourth divided by x. I'll just do my work, and then you can check with mine. I have x to the third. Then I need to multiply. So that gives me x to the fourth plus 3x to the third. And what is the big rule for change the signs? Both signs. So this becomes a minus, and that becomes a minus. These guys cross out. So I have negative 3x to the third minus 10x squared minus 2x plus 4.
I put tax in
Oopsie.
there.
Step 1, write down the problem correctly. Okay, then I have negative 3x to the third divided by x gives me negative 3x squared. And I multiply and I get negative 3x to the third. Is that a plus?
Yeah.
So minus 9x squared. And then I need to change my signs.
Oh.
Hey, I am where
Don't
this.
look at me. I'm not even talking to him. I wasn't even-
Look at
I
me.
was talking
Look
to
at
him,
me.
and everybody else turned around.
Look at me. Don't be talking to no one except me. Got it? Okay, what do we do next? Group in the back talking, except for Waylon, because he's not talking.
Then
He's
you do
working.
negative
Good job.
3x2 and times it by x.
Already did that.
Right, where's that?
No.
Oh, I have. No,
Then you do
I.
negative x2 divided by x,
And what do you get?
which is x, and then you distribute
Negative
x.
x.
What kind of x?
Negative x.
Negative x. I have negative x, and then I multiply that, so I have negative x squared minus 3x. And then I'm going to have to move this down because I wrote too big. So this is plus plus. So I have x plus 4. X divided by x is 1. And then I multiply that, and I get x plus 3. Change my signs, and I get 1 as my remainder. So I get plus 1 over x plus 3.
Let's go.
Okay, now, this is going to be our first example to learn how to do the synthetic division. Synthetic division is easier than long division, much easier, but you can't use synthetic division all the time. So go ahead and grab notes for 3.3 synthetic division. This is easy. Shh. I'm in trouble today. Okay. There is one more section we can do.
No.
Goes right along with this. Okay, synthetic division. Here's what's important about synthetic division. Put that away. Put that away. No, that's why. It's inappropriate. Okay, when you are using synthetic division, here's the only time you can use synthetic division. When you are dividing by something like this, x plus or minus some number. So what we're dividing by, look at me, everyone, this is important. When we're dividing by just an x and then plus 3, like we did a minute ago, you can use synthetic division. X minus 3, you can use synthetic division. X plus a billion, you can use synthetic division. 2x plus 1, you cannot use synthetic division. So it has to be just a plain old x, plus, it can be plus or minus, doesn't matter, and then just a plain old number, okay? If it's anything else, you cannot use synthetic division. This is why you're going to see that synthetic division is really easy, but we can't use it all the time. So anytime you can use it, you want to use it, but you can't use it all the time. So we're going to start with the very first, or the same problem we did for a bell ringer. I did that on purpose so we can see that it gives you the same answer. So we're going to divide x to the fourth minus 10x squared minus 2x plus 4 by x plus 3.
You want us to do this long division?
No, we've already done that. I'm going to show you how to do it synthetic division, and it's going to be the same answer we did for our bell ringer long division. So here's how we set this up. And look, it's going to look a little bit different. The one thing that's the same is you're still going to have to put in zeros if you have holes. So you're going to set up long division or synthetic division like this. You're going to make like an L shape. Remember this?
Oh.
Good. I love to see light bulbs go
I
off.
don't remember this.
It's okay. I'm teaching it like it's the first time. So you will by the end of class, I promise. Here's what you have to put on the outside here. You have to look at what you're dividing by, and you're going to take this number, and you're going to do the opposite of that number and put it out here. So what's the opposite of positive 3? Negative 3. So that's first step, and that's the one of the steps that people mess up to mess this whole thing up. So you have to do the opposite of what that number is, write it out front, and then we're just going to write the coefficients up top here. When you get to a hole, you have to fill in a 0 for that coefficient. So a coefficient is the number in front of the variables. So we're going to go in order. We're going to start here. What am I going to put for my first coefficient?
1.
A 1. Then I don't have an x cubed, so I have to fill in a 0. That's my x cubed column. Then what do I put for my x squared column? Negative 10. And then my x column, I have a negative 2. And then the number, I have a 4. So this is how we set it up. Coefficients and the opposite of whatever you're dividing by. The number part. Everybody with me? Okay. Are you ready for the first step? Because it's the hardest one.
Yeah, sure.
Step 1. Bring this first number down. I know. You guys think you can handle that? Okay. Phew. Then it becomes a pattern. We take this number and we multiply here, and we're going to write it here. So 1 times negative 3 is negative 3.
Oh, I do remember this.
Then we're going to combine straight down. So 0 plus negative 3 gives me what? Negative 3. And then when negative 3 is going to jump on the multiplying train. Negative 3 times a negative 3 is a positive what? 9. And it's going to go right here. And we're going to add straight down. Negative 10 plus 9 is? Negative 1.
Wait, hold on. Slow back. Wait.
I'm waiting.
1 times negative 3, which got us negative 3, which is on that. Oh, so you put it there, not.
Yep.
And then negative 3 times. Wait. How did you do the next part?
Okay, so I took this negative 3 and I multiplied it by this negative 3. I got on the multiplying train, and then that went
So you just brought him
here.
down?
I added together 0 plus negative 3 is negative 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, so negative 3 plus negative 3 is positive 9. That's good.
Okay, and now we add straight down.
That worked out.
Negative 10 plus 9 is
Alright.
negative 1. Then we're going to take our negative 1 and we're going to multiply that by negative 3. What's negative 1 times negative 3? Positive 3. That's going to go on our next space over. And then we're going to add, no, that's a positive 1. Positive 1. Then we're going to multiply that. Positive 1 times our negative 3 is a negative 3. Add straight down, and what do I get? 1. Okay? Everybody good with that? Okay, now this is the most important part, because this is where people write down, do all the work right, and they write down the wrong answer. So I want you to start at the far right side with the far right number, okay, which is a 1. Under that 1, I want you to put an R. That, whatever that number is, whether it's a number or it's a 0, 0 is a number too, but whatever it is, because sometimes you'll have a remainder of 0, this last column here is the remainder. Your next row to the left would be the number. This is going to be the x. This is going to be the x squared. And this is going to be the x what? X cubed. I want you to write that under like that, even though it seems a little elementary. It will help you write the answer correctly. So when we go to write the answer, these are my coefficients that go with these variables that I have. So 1x to the third is just x to the third, minus 3x squared, minus x, plus 1 divided by x plus 3, because that's what we divided by. Is this the same answer that we had for our bell ringer? So it works both ways for that one because we're dividing by an x plus a number. You ready to try one all by yourself?
Yeah.
And then that'll be it. Okay, so you guys work on this one. We're going to divide x to the fourth. We're going to divide x to the fourth plus 3x cubed plus 2x plus 5 by x minus 2. Sorry. That's a 2. So you guys are going to go start to finish, set it up, but I want to make sure we do one thing right. What number is going out here? Positive 2, because we do the opposite of this. Okay? Okay, you guys go. I know you can do it. I'm going to take attendance quick. Okay, we're ready to try it?
Some big old numbers.
So, is it? Oh, yeah. Did you get a remainder of 49?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Well, let's see what happened. So we should have a positive 2 out here, correct? And then I have a 1, a 3. Do I have 0? Do I have to put a 0 in? Yes, because I don't have an x squared. Then my x is 2 and 5. So make sure yours is set up like this. I'll pull this up so you can see it. Okay, first step, bring my 1 down. Multiply 1 times 2 is 2. Add these together, you should have a 5 for your next column. 5 times 2 is 10. 0 plus 10 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. 20 plus 2 is 22. 22 times 2 is 44. 5 plus 44 is 49. You can tell I made this problem up. Okay, and just so you know. So we have the r, the number, the x squared, and the x cubed. So I've got x cubed plus 5x squared plus 10x plus 22 plus 49 over, what did we divide by?
X minus 2.
Thank you. And that's your answer. Easy enough?
Easy.
Easy enough.
What was the original? What did you say? X minus 2. Or the one?
X to the fourth plus 3x to the third
Oh,
plus
dear.
Oh, I see what I did.
2x plus 5.
Did you forget your 0?
divided by-
Well, no, I put the 0 in the wrong spot.
That will do it. Okay, here is your assignment for today. Page 290. You should have plenty of time to get this done. 19 to 30. Check your work if you want, but we will go over this either at the end of class today or beginning of class tomorrow. Don't forget to fill in zeros.